You'd think these guys would catch the fucking hint by the fourth movie. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, well, you should be long dead anyway, so what does it matter? Movie that obviously wants us to think this is James Bond's casket for a second has forgotten it's a James Bond movie. How the f did he get here before she did? Her car left, Bond was way up on this balcony. God help you if you tell me because he's James Bond. You definitely possess the skill to throw a knife like this, so why such horrible aim? There's like a whole body of mist right there. Now, why would you do this? Are you planning on keeping him alive or something? I'm kind of surprised by this, but this 1965 action film has about as many cuts as Underworld. At least the action isn't too confusing, darkly lit, and is an Underworld. James Bond uses the time-tested assault method of chair sliding. Instead of stabbing Bond while he's got the upper hand, this idiot slaps him with a fire poker a couple times. Flower insult. Oh, hello there, blue screen. Well, the sudden jetpack is pretty cynical, but so are the deer and dog gargoyles on top of this building. Why the f isn't this car parked, like, far away from this house? As is, this jetpack ride gets him only a small distance away from the mansion, and he's still in danger once he lands. The Bond movies basically invented stormtrooper aim, giving Bond time to raise this completely unneeded bullet shield. Oh no, water! We can't possibly step to the side of it and shoot the tires out now. Oh, the humanity. Thunderball. Roll credits, Tom Jones. Oh, I guess they kind of are rolling even if these are the opening credits, but still, roll credits. The continuity girl continues girling in this chapter of 007. It's a girl's job, so you guys out there hoping to become continuity girl one day, just back the f*** off. Really old Bond movie schools modern movies and earns a sin off for showing us a city-specific landmark establishing shot, without feeling the need to use text on screen to also tell us the city and country. Yeah, nobody's looking now, but this secret room is located in a spot that virtually assures it will get discovered by a janitor, secretary, or a meddling kid. Once again, I might just have to remove a sin for Ken Adams' production design. Holy crap, that dude made James Bond as much as Sean Connery did.
The culprit is known to me. I've decided on the appropriate action.
You gotta hand it to Spectre for creating this conference room complete with execution-style chairs. I want this room to look futuristic and awesome, and I also want to be able to murder my employees at the touch of a button. Get our electricians on this stat. Is there a basement of dead bodies under this thing? Or is there a low-level employee who disposes of the dead body later? Jesus, everyone just fucking hands Bond a huge helping of I'm a bad guy markings, easily identifiable for not only spies like him, but for 4-year-olds who read 2-minute mysteries.
Ask Records to verify it for me, will you?
Sorry, sweetie. You're off duty.
Not only does Bond stumble on Blofeld's henchman at the health club, he's not even on duty. So he was randomly at the health club at the same time as the Spectre dude. This is convenience you can't make up. Oh, wait.
Honey Penny, next time I see you, I'll put you across my knee.
On yogurt and lemon juice? I can hardly wait.
What the actual f*** am I watching? What does that even mean? Next time I'm gonna pinch your bum. With custard and balsamic vinaigrette? I can hardly wait. This f***er even uses his real name on a nameplate that basically says bad guy lives in this room. No James Bonds allowed. Discount Darkman. Ringing bell ex machina. I guess for the mummy guy. Anyway, character introduced. Noted. Well, that's sexual assault there. But it's 1965, and there's a job called continuity girl, so... This contraption is for a f***ing back bruise? Did they try and cure herpes with leeches back then, too?
I'll look in and see how you're doing in 15 minutes.
This is exactly what my college girlfriend used to say to me during sex. That this clearly lawsuit-inducing contraption, which definitely does nothing for back bruises, has any faster speed than this. Second off, a guy who wants to kill James Bond could easily do so without using this stupid machine by stabbing him or shooting him. But f*** it.
It's a miracle I came back when I did.
Indeed.
You wouldn't tell Dr. Wayne. Please. I'd lose my job.
Well, I suppose my silence could have a price.
Negotiated rape. This nurse isn't even wearing anything underneath her nurse outfit. It's almost like this kind of behavior is expected and encouraged. She doesn't even seem all that upset about it. Janitor leaves his push broom here in the middle of a massage room because somehow deep down he knew that it would come in handy for somebody later. Also, nobody around for this either. This health club maintains a beautiful low overhead by not paying employees to run it at all. Not to mention all the money gained from the prostitution. Minutes after being forced to f for her job, this girl now simply enjoys Bond's company. Because the power of Bond's Thunderballs is just that amazing. It's clear to me that this movie started as a porn script, but then was accidentally adapted into Ian Fleming's Thunderball somehow. All I can think about is boobs. Hilarious blue screen, second Angelo. Was this the easiest way to knock this dude out? Hell, the girl could have injected him with something while they were making out a minute ago. Let's just admit they wanted this dude to open the door and see his double so it would be more exciting, even if it didn't make that much sense.
Lippy, you take over.
How did Lippy get out of the steam machine that Bond trapped him in? Especially since everyone who works at the health club is too busy taking penicillin shots. Hell, the guy doesn't even seem all that affected by the ordeal.
I changed my mind.
This asshole actually threatens Spectre and holds them for ransom for more money, because he's the only guy who can do this. But let me ask you this, dude. What do you expect will happen when the job is done? Why not just take the $100 grand, not do the job, and then go hide out in Maine or something? It's a hell lot safer than what you just did.
Come on, get him into his pajamas.
All I can think about is boobs. What must be hours later, this shit's still going on. Bond goes to close the window at the perfect time to spot this important shit going down outside. Spectre has no better way of getting this dude into the health club than this. Did this asshole actually try to stab from this distance through an open window? And does anyone have a gun in these instances? Also, what happened to Lippy? He clearly had a gun ready to kill Bond, and what? Did he just decide to play Spectre spectator? The next minute of this movie is a bunch of boring jet. I mean, seriously, it's people taking notes and providing altitudes and temperature, and not one boob. Not one boob, I tell you. Honestly, they could have just started with this. I promise we wouldn't have sinned the fact that we didn't hear a bunch of flight information before this guy finally made his move. He injects a thing into the thing, and everyone chokes to slumber. Obvious toy plane shot is obvious toy plane. Here's a full minute of camouflaging the underwater jet.
Life was much simpler in my Warsaw laboratory.
Because that's what we Polish people do. We miss stuff from Poland. We can't stop talking about Poland. You knew I was from Poland, right? Guy who had 2 different chances to kill Bond will now try to do it in a much more difficult setting. Also, the driver's seat is on the left side of the car? What kind of British is this? And he won't aim for the tires. But this driver's seat is killing me. If it were on the correct side, this guy could have easily taken Bond out. Mystery person with motorcycle guns, ex machina. Also, she picks this super odd time to kill Lippy, driving this well-equipped motorcycle like she knew she'd have to kill him on the road, instead of simply calling a meeting. You know how those go. They get in the car, she says Blofeld wants to give you a promotion. Oh really? Random thug we just saw in scene 24 emerges from the backseat with piano wire. Done. This movie came out the same year as The Sound of Music, which only further proves the adage that nothing comes from nothing, nothing ever could. Legitimately surprised this motorcycle didn't explode on impact with the water. I must say I love this meeting place, and it's another Ken Adam masterpiece, but it's the most impractical meeting place you could devise. Hey, I want a place that looks awesome, but where I have to shout my instructions to my agents and everyone is really far away from each other.
Will destroy a major city in England or the United States of America.
You're on alert, Leeds. Honestly, if they destroy a major city in England, it's pretty much London, right? Maybe Manchester, but then the added benefit of Manchester United being obliterated wouldn't be so bad, right? Basically, this means there's a large space in the ceiling that was entirely constructed so that this giant painting could fit inside it during huge map reveals.
All airfields large enough to handle the Vulcan.
What's that? I can't hear you! Also, how can some of the people in this room see the map? Did you ever go to a movie theater where the screen was located on the right side wall?
Codename? Thunderball.
Okay, I'm pretty confident this time. Roll credits. Though I still have no idea what's happening.
His name is Duval. Well, I saw him last night at Shrublands, but he was dead.
It's so weird that key parts of this case happened right in front of you during your rehab. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Oh wait, girl miraculously scuba diving at the same time as Bond coincidentally gets stuck and needs saving by Bond.
Do you come here often?
Whenever I'm bored. Practically every day.
The starfish in my left hand should adequately illustrate my casual obsession with diving. I'm the dude tailing the dude disguised as another dude tailing that second dude.
Some of my conch chowder.
I have no idea what's going on. Let me get this straight. Bond sees a picture with Duval and his sister, makes the giant leap to find the sister in Nassau, and lo and behold, Largo just happens to be in Nassau and he's sleeping with her? Luckiest lead ever.
8.
Somehow every villain Bond needs to check out loves playing cards, and Bond always manages to get into a hand with them, and of course winning, because that's subtle foreshadowing. Here's a list of things I decided to do instead of trying to understand what's going on in this movie. Flip channels, clip fingernails, check Urban Dictionary for any hilarious sexual definitions of Thunderball.
Strange. I found Emilio attractive. Then.
Oh, you did not. Does someone like Largo look like he's got any game whatsoever?
Where is your brother now?
Everyone on the dance floor can hear this conversation clearly.
My key. It's 304, please.
Thank you. 304.
Is that really how they used a hotel back in the day? Just give room keys to anyone that says a number? Wow, he rewound it right to the spot on the first try. Isn't there like hours of audio on that thing?
Hello, 00.
CIA guy Felix Leiter decides calling Bond by his code name is an acceptable practice in a hotel. Why is there always someone waiting for Bond in his hotel room? Honestly, we should consider whether Bond is all that good an agent, considering he's so easily found. Why does he always stay in hotels anyway, under his real name? It's just no wonder, right?
You let him get the better of you.
This is perhaps the problem with Spectre overall, expecting their low-level dumbasses to be better than an MI6 agent. Luckily, this conversation took place right next to a pool full of sharks for easy henchman disposal.
Well, gentlemen, unless those bombs are found, I'm very much afraid we'll have to pay their price.
Yeah, you said that earlier. We remember.
But unless the bombs are recovered, payment will have to be made.
You're an asshole that says asshole things, asshole.
0 hours till $2,000 on the 27th. That's just 55 hours from now.
Which should be just enough time to stop all this. Since Largo knows Bond is after him, why didn't he move the deadline up? Oh, come on. You mean Largo sent out a guy for scuba duty? Was this guy here the whole time? Or does he check the water every 5 minutes or so? And usually the water would be dark as hell, and you couldn't see anything in it without light. But Nassau is kind enough to shine nuclear beams of light down into the water, just in case you need to find a lost contact. Bond, completely oblivious to the scuba henchman, is always saved by horrible aim.
Turn the underwater lights on.
Is this the movie's admission that underwater is typically a dark place? And the light we saw a minute ago was strictly for movie purposes so we could see the action? I'm taking it as a full confession, actually. You have cameras down here? Come on, you simply do not have cameras down here. At least not any that are perfectly capturing the action.
Down there.
Do you just not have any more guys you can put in scuba suits that can gang up on Bond and take him down? Yeah, let's throw grenades randomly down in the water and hope for the best.
No! Must have hit him with a propeller! Let's get back into Largo.
Not verifying kills is the Spectre way. It is a little known fact that Bond is also the most successful hitchhiker in the world. Not only lucking into cars driving down lonely stretches of road late at night, but also driven by someone who is integral to the plot. And he's going to get to f***. Would this be any more ridiculous if every Spectre agent wore a t-shirt that said Spectre on it?
This is my hotel.
What a coincidence.
Yeah, it's so convenient.
And from that innocuous dialogue, this entire script was written.
About 90 miles is the limit for 6 hours, and that's out and back. I reckon we've got to go further out, and we'll need more gas for that.
Why didn't you guys already discuss this before getting on the helicopter? You actually got on the helicopter, started flying around randomly, and then figured out what you'd need to find the airplane. You see, good agents have a plan when they do stuff.
When the time is right, he will be killed. Pow!
This is the only time you'll ever see a villain have good aim. Why are these obvious enemies alternately pretending to be friendly and trying to kill each other?
Come along, Mr. Bond. The conch chowder smells delicious.
Why is this movie obsessed with f***ing conch chowder? Highly trained MI6 agent opens the door without any caution whatsoever.
Do you think she was on or something?
I don't know, but I've got to find out.
And other things my mouth is saying without audio. Bond is so amazing he can slam this metal door without it making any noise. Movie has James Bond make a Johnny English spy mistake so the bad guys can keep up with him. This guy was, the movie would have you believe, looking for Bond by hiding behind this plant, so that if Bond, who is dressed in the same all-black attire as all these henchmen running around here, ran by this one spot, he'd be able to ambush him.
No! I've got a better idea.
Drowning him behind something you can't see through instead of just shooting him? No, that is not a better idea. And be sure to close the tunnel hatch afterwards so Bond can't escape through that, right? Right? Also, why not just let Bond drown? Why the sharks? Why does everything have to come down to sharks? Since these guys are both stuntmen dressed in black, I literally have no idea which character just got stabbed. These sharks don't notice shit. Obviously behind glass Bond is obviously behind glass. These other sharks simply don't give a shit. How is no one standing here waiting with a gun in case Bond somehow escaped through the only possible escape route?
Anything else?
Tell him Paul is dead.
Okay.
Since you're here, would you mind giving me something to put on?
Okay, I love this. Bond is an asshole, but this is pretty damn funny, and we'll take a sin off for it.
Now look, you know we're going to be too late.
Too late for what?
The Junkanoo.
Looks like you already did the Junkanoo. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Bond just got saved by an overzealous firewater peddler. Also, did they really not have any restraints for a super spy? Look! Oh, sure, you'll be able to follow a blood trail in the dark during a parade, because the blood is bright red paint. This chase is shot in such a way that you not only don't know who's where, but you're legitimately angry about it. These assholes found him? How much blood did Bond spill on the way here? Speaking of which, why did he ever come here? I don't know what this dude is waiting for, but I guess he's having second thoughts. Also, no one hears this gunshot? It's not like Kiss is playing or anything.
Well, we have exactly 14 hours and 50 minutes. And then I suppose we shall have to pay up.
This was the easiest acting job ever. Just find ways of saying if we run out of time, we'll have to pay over and over during the shoot. Sharks pose so little threat during this sequence that it's a wonder they're even shown swimming around. Absolutely nothing happens while Bond is down here. And yeah, they shot a shark so that the others would go after it. But some of these clearly aren't down with eating shark meat and just let Bond do his job. What the f*** is that supposed to mean? They're f***ing down here? Because no, they're not.
What happened?
It's a long story.
And it will require the wearing of my sunglasses.
Domino, I need your help.
Of course. That's why you made love to me.
No. He made love to you because you're smoking hot. He could have simply told you your brother was dead before that, and we'd be in the exact same place.
This is a Geiger counter.
Wait, I thought the watch was the Geiger counter.
Here we have a Geiger counter.
The camera was a camera.
That's an underwater camera. It takes 8 pictures in rapid succession by pressing that button there.
Unless the movie forgot its own gadget intro scenes, or just made up a third previously unseen gadget on the spot that does the work of one of the previous gadgets while looking like the other previous gadget. Bond has a random harpoon ready and waiting next to him. And of course, in MI6, they teach you excellent no-look harpooning skills. Also, if this guy followed her here, that means he was here while they were having their sexy time underwater. So why didn't you just kill Bond when they got out of the water a minute ago? Well, this is some bullshit right here. Also, absolutely no one will notice Bond getting into his scuba gear, because when men get dressed in scuba gear, the best thing to do is not talk to each other or look in anyone's direction for fear of being called gay. Also, was there any reason for them to bring all this out ahead of time earlier today when they could easily have just carried it? I mean, besides giving Bond a way to catch on to the plot. And we're back underwater again. Yay. Earlier, Fiona told Largo that it was good they didn't kill Bond because then his government would know where the bombs are. Well, they may have been able to narrow down Nassau, but this underwater secret cave hideout? It illustrates how dumb it was to not kill Bond when they had the chance. Bond was in a cave where they hid the atomic bombs, and the entrance to it was closed behind it. So of course there's another way out that Spectre left unchecked during the hideout vetting process. This also means there was completely another way in. So all the stuff they did to get inside was unnecessary.
So tell me how much Bond knows.
Didn't you just leave Bond trapped underwater? Or at least, don't you think you did? Isn't your plan minutes from taking place anyway?
I'll be forced to cause you great pain. This for heat, these for cold.
And that's just a night of tame sex for Bond. Are you sure she won't enjoy that? Largo is a bad guy, therefore also a rapist. Only fitting the big finale would take place underwater. But why didn't Bond tell them how many henchmen were in Largo's crew, so the military could send more than that exact same number of guys and sway the battle toward victory through sheer numbers? Oh, you know where the bombs are and the guys transporting it? We'll send a dozen guys right away. Also, why did this movie that made such a big deal about sharks for an hour and a half suddenly forget how crazy it is about sharks? And right in the middle of the movie's bloodiest scene. Why did they all bring harpoons? This is a spy movie boiling down to grown men firing, not guns or lasers or spy gadget whiz-poppers, but harpoons, underwater, all with hoods and masks on. It's like the movie knew you'd be delirious by this point anyway. How many different ways can Bond kill dudes underwater? This movie is literally showing you all of them. First off, that you have these things is amazing. Second off, that you wouldn't just choose to shoot the bad guys rather than doing some clever shoot the rope that's holding this door and making it fall on them technique. Gotta admit, I have no idea what's happening in this action scene, but go Orange Guys. Oh, now the movie remembers its shark fetish. Too bad, already sinned the shark absence. And now I sin their tardy entrance as well. This dude pulls Bond's mask off, then nothing else. Job done. Bond wisely takes another dude's mask, but when we see him again, he's got that damn blue mask back on. Man, this movie totally forgot about Bond for the last 6 minutes. Also, Bond put in his temporary air device here, which Q told him would give him
about 4 minutes.
And yep, he definitely used that thing for almost twice that long. Obvious sped up footage is obvious. Whee! Movie repeats the hilariously obvious rear projection island dodging footage from when Largo was driving 10 seconds ago. Amazing how this boat, uncontrolled for much of this escape, managed to miss all the rocks during it.
I'm glad I killed him.
You're glad?
Yeah, man, that's what I was thinking. Say, who's driving the boat?
Jam the controls!
He what? How did he do that when he was dying? Bond, Domino, and the movie completely forget about the Polish dude that jumped off the boat a minute ago. So I guess he's just destined to float in the ocean until the sharks get him. Or somebody makes the movie open water at the beginning. Yeah, no, they're dead. Also, any reason one of those very nearby military boats couldn't have picked them up? This is completely unnecessary.
Next time I see you, I'll put you across my knee.
You next time, Gadget. Next time.
But I corrected them, sir. And when my wife tried to prevent me from doing my duty, I corrected her.
We have clearance, Clarence.
Roger, Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
This crap season's over for us. Next stop, Opie season.
We all live in a yellow submarine.
Find your exit buddy. Do you have your exit buddy?
Yes! Keep it close, Tuck.
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
Settle down, Felix. I think we've found it.
Who makes that? Bell Helicopter. Who owns Bell? Well, Bell was nearly bankrupt when the First National Bank of Boston approached the CIA about developing the helicopter for Indochina usage.